No, I think some have become meritorious when someone George is afforded the opportunity to do something, then me deserves it. So that how fans that how San is that what we are. So I
Okay,
think
since when you and J. Milton Teji sat together on the lunch table? If there's peace in Sando.
well we thought we've been friends. JJ and I have been long time friends. In fact, interestingly, we are of the same age group. We come a very long way. We work together collaboratively. I served TJ as development superintendent for 2.5 years. When TJ became senator, I worked in the county 2.5 years as superintendent. And when he got elected, and I didn't work in the past government, in the city government, in the private sector, doing my own stuff. And we were friends. I mean, I behave like, I mean, I take like good friends, and we stay talk. We interact. We share notes on a couple of fronts. So we are cool.
Okay, so you people are cool. So is it the only achievement Representative Queer that seems been in the house, uniting your people? Is it the only thing you can pinpoint, you can look back to?
No, no. Somehow I just doing this thing consciously,
Okay,
but
fine.
yeah, done a lot thus far. And in Sino, I think I got a couple of Sino guys and being employed. I had let about little over 70 students on my scholarship at various university and high schools. And currently, I'm doing sport page development. I'm trying to develop a seabed page. I'm trying to enhance it and modernize it. I'm doing and a six classroom, elementary classroom that have in fact changed from cloud nine to teacher quarter in the Mopo. I'm doing and a guest house in Grisby Farm. I'm modernizing the Paraba in Blau and many other things. And I do community engagements. Okay, and let and not forgetting to indicate that then we are being involved with the individual impactfulness, from one level to another. And so yes, we are there.
I'm
Even
sure,
private.
I'm sure all of what you are doing, Representative Queer, it's not from your pocket. It's the country's development fund, right?
No, so kind of development for it comes in trenches. In fact, and last year, and it came fragmentarily. And so there are a lot of things that we do from our initiative. Okay, I've earmarked and a public library in Sino, and I gathered the material, but then eventually the spot that we have identified area, and the county is saying that it's trying to modernize and expand the JF Green Sport pitch, and was still presumably our pitch. So we altered that. We altered that, and so we making progress. We doing more from our own end. So most of our projects not kind of okay. For instance, the Greenville Water Restoration Project. Okay, it was a project that I fought for, even though it didn't come under the kind of development project, but it's something that I went after, and I got it. And so right now the standard water system and is on rehabilitation, with the involvement of water and sewer. So those are things that we'll be involved with.
Okay.
Legislatively, we pour for a couple of bills on the floor, and we passed a couple of legislations. And before, when I came to the capital, I was chairing the committee on education and public administration. I led a committee up to the capital building crisis. Then when we came back, currently I chair the committee on election inaugurations. So that how it is.
Okay. Okay. My colleagues will be coming in, but let's bring you to Monrovia and leave from Startup now. Uh, Getting some. Okay. Um, Today, the House of Representatives play host to the former president of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. What do you make of some of the things that she talked about? Were you all inspired, or were you all disappointed that why you all wanted to hear she didn't say them? Let's hear from you.
If you are in the first place, I think her appearance was a blessing in disguise for this country. And Liberia never had former presidents before. Okay, she's the first former president, followed by President George Weah. And I think what she did today, I look forward to seeing other presidents, past presidents will come, or public servants to do just that. She captured a couple of issues. First, and reform. Okay, reform. Look at governance structure. She spoke about the need to promote women participation in the governance system of this country. And then she flared a couple of things. Even she made mention about the property clause that she referred to as being discriminatory and denying people of owning land in this country. She also did talk about people having property that are being abandoned, and government should exercise dominion, and a lot of stuff. So I think what she did to us, it gave her a new look. It gave her new, because when you divert partisanship from national politics, then you make progress. And there are some of us who are partisans, and so we follow partisan. Sometimes we are regimented, based on links. And so I think she made some inroad today that gave her different look of how the work of this country should be done. So I think almost everybody was delighted, that she would come at short notice, from us to come, and talk to us. And so I think it was good. I think everybody else was delighted.
Okay, let me ask this question, after which David Tabo will come in. At the latter part of her speech, well, she said she was not delivering her usual speech, but she was just commenting on a couple of issues. She did say that during her 12 years, she served with dedication and honesty, and therefore she has absolutely no apology for anyone. You think it was quite necessary for the former president to have made that statement?
Well, I think, and every individual is entitled to his own understanding, entitled to their own definition, and the way they utter their thoughts and speeches during public discourse. So I don't want to say because mind you now, no one is infallible, and once you get on the public stage, you create enemies, you create.
You're listening to the Nighttime Heat, rated on Pram FM 105.5. We are also streaming live on Pram FM Monrovia 105.5, and streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Kindly share tonight's show, share the live videos, so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. Representative Kuya? Representative Kuya?
Yes, I'm here, Sobo.
Yes, yeah, okay. Let's go ahead.
So I'm saying, yes, she did say that. She said, as far she's concerned, she played a role well. she did what she could do.
But the question I ask you, the question I'm asking you, the question I'm asking you, Rep, was that statement appropriate? Where if you were the former president, well, you have made that statement.
Yeah, maybe. She didn't say that, everything, even though she did say everything she did was okay, and so she owes no one an apology. So that's what she said. If it were me, probably I would have said it the other way around though. But so I can't question, why she said what she said.
You seem to be careful here. But anyway, let's David Tower come in quickly.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hey, Tower, how you doing?
I'm okay, sir. In Morovia or Sino?
I'm in Morocco. You
Oh,
understand?
okay. So you said you were impressed with the visit of former President Salif, and she was able to speak the words of wisdom to you people. And another thing, you said that she came at a short notice, suggesting that you extended her an invitation. Am I correct?
I think so. Yes.
You extended her an invitation.
The leadership of
The leadership of the, not you personally, but the leadership of the house extended her an invitation.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
What prompted that decision? What did you decide to invite her?
So and when you on the public theater that we are, you gotta look beyond the visibility. We're not infallible, and the legislature, is an environment of normal gain. So the way Tabet thinks, that's not how Rumipia think. Okay. And so the numbers carry the day. So we think inviting somebody of wisdom, past leader, to come and speak to us, I think it gave us new look, it gave us new approach to how we do our decision making. Maybe it strengthen us or put more broader understanding. So I think that what informed that decision and trust me, I think as time goes by, we'll call other people, we'll call them past leaders or other statesmen to come and lecture us. So
Okay,
I
so-
think that was that decision.
Okay, so let me take you back to Sano that you represent in the legislature, the House of Representatives specifically. I know because you are the representative, you frequent Sino. I mean, you visit Sino frequently, right? Am I correct?
Yes, that's very correct.
Yeah, so I know, and when you visit Sino, you interact with the people, the youth, and everyone. What are they really telling you? What are some of the concerns when you sit with them in Greenville or wherever? What are some of the concerns they talk about that they need to happen, and most especially the young people in Sino? What are they really saying? What do they tell you?
So the cause or the anticipation of the people of Sano is not peculiar to Sano. It goes across the country. Every Liberian wants to have access to education, access to health, health care delivery, jobs, youth empowerment, job creation, the stable community, being cared for, good road network, accessibility of safe drinking water. So these are the things in the every community in Liberia, even in Monrovia, are calling for. So those are the things that the people of Sando are calling for. And mind you, these things that they are calling for, they're not automatic. They come gradually, as situation improves in the country. So it's not specific, it's not peculiar call from people of Sando. It's generic.
Okay, my final question, sir, is that we're seeing development all over the place. Road rehabilitation, road reconstruction, electrification, all across the country. In fact, we're hearing that Liberians in other parts of the country are all in jubilant mood because they think that they have begun to see some signs of development. Is that trickling down to Sino County? What is your impression thus far as the work of the current government in which you work, the first branch in which you work? What is your impression about this government? Is the development initiatives undertaken by the government showing face in Sino, triggering down in Sino? What is the impression of your people?
So let me say this much, and then let me say the first thing. In
Mhm.
yesteryears, if you went to Sino, you don't tell us by saying, "Oh, Romeo, I'm coming. I'll be in Sino this time." Nope. When you reach, you reach. This time, I can safely say, if you left from Buchanan to Sano, you take more 5-6 hours. You there. So the improvement, the roads are pliable. Even during the bad weather, the roads are pliable. And once the place become accessible, development flows. Now,
Yes.
now,
Mhm.
now,
Mhm.
now, now, the schools are all staffed. I think Sando got about, I think, a little about 150 plus, volunteer teachers, being replaced, being placed on payroll. The schools are regular. Hospitals are working. Currently, they are plenty posts. They are plenty posts throughout the streets of
Yeah,
Greenville.
there's some agenda.
The hydro in Sino in SRC is under construction, which when finished will supply partially the entire southeast belt. Okay, with electricity. So these are signs. Right now, there's a total defense project that is going on. Sando now was about to be washed away by coastal erosion. Right now, they are doing revetment. Okay, EPA is there doing revetment, trying to protect the city of Greenville from being carried away by sea erosion. So these are development. These are things that anybody should be serious and be serious about. And so these are taking place in Sino.
Okay, so you're listening to the Nighttime Heat rated on Prime FM 105.5. And we are streaming live also on Prime FM Morovia 105.5, streaming live on our Facebook. That's the Nighttime Heat Facebook and a YouTube channel. We wanted to share tonight's show. It promises to be very, very interesting. More topics are ahead. After our guests, we're going to go into the president cabinet meeting today. He made some sound and strong statements. We're going to talk about that. Former President Ellen Johnson said he was also addressing the lower house today. We're going to talk about that as well. It's your turn, Edwin.
Yes, so Honorable, good evening again. Let me say I'm Edwin Fambule, one of the panelists on the show. Now, today the former president strike few points that has to do with constitutional amendment. I listened to her talks about Article 27B that talks about citizenship. Is there any plan by maybe you or other members of the House of Representatives to propose an amendment to those constitutional articles of the 1986 Constitution that the president spoke about?
Look, are you there?
I think he's frozen.
Somebody check me out again.
Representative Quia.
Certainly, indeed, and anything that has the potential to bring about transformation in our governance system.
I think facing some issues.
Yeah, he faces an internet issue.
There's some issues.
Yes. Are you
You break it without getting you. You're breaking.
hello?
Yeah,
Yes, go ahead.
We're hearing you.
We're hearing you now.
It's just that you're breaking.
No.
You're listening to the Nighttime Heat directed on Plum FM. You know, if you don't have the strong internet system, you can do the show. You must have that strong internet system. We're trying to see what we can again arrange with Representative Quia to go direct so that we can have this interview with him. I'm sure he's on up to 9:20, so we can take leave of him and
I think
do all the things
he
on
knows
the
good
show.
now. Let's see what I can hear from him.
Representative
Are,
Quia?
are you hearing me, Henry?
Okay,
Yes,
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 now.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Henry, are you hearing me now?
Yes, we're hearing you, Honorable.
Okay, good. So, yeah. So I'm saying yes, indeed, and we will take siege of today's intervention. We've been doing it, as you will remember. I think recently, what dual citizenship thing that was passing around. I think we are taking some some positive stance. So yes, we know that she did mention about this and what she referred to as almost saying discriminatory about property ownership, citizen can own this, citizen can own that. So we do these things, but like I said, in the Capitol building is a number game. Okay, the way you see it, I may not see it the way you see it, and the way I see it, if you don't see it that way, then we'll look for your numbers. Okay, so I'm sure that anything that has the potential to make this country transform, definitely will go for it. Even your private citizen can develop some ideas and say, make it, a bill for me, for the country, who do that. So yes, I think today was a wonderful day for us. We got to take away from Madam Sally presentation today and look forward to
Okay.
seeing.
Okay, so my follow-up would be, I know you from you said here that you're from the ruling Unity Party, right?
No, that's not correct.
Okay. Okay, because I actually wanted to ask about the leadership issues within the House of Representatives. For far too long, with everything that we think has been settled, but there's still been some kind of, disagreement, disenchantment with the way the leadership is operating. What is your own relationship with the current leadership, the speaker, the deputy speaker, and what are you seeing as a member of that body that needs to be done so that we have a proper working lower house, as it is called?
So let me tell you this, my Aaron. In fact, I was with the Kofa group, okay, and I part ways with Kofa when I found out that indeed it got to a point that nothing dramatic would have happened, okay, to ensure that I just stay on board. And so I know I got elected by people assigned to do people work. And so when I found there were activities, there were I went. So I got there at the time there was already, and some degree of sanity in the capital. So then I joined a group, and with a group, and I'm doing my utmost. My being there is not based on partisan line. It's based on maybe what I can offer. I'm referred to as the elder in the capital. Okay, maybe because the way I conduct myself. So yeah, there's noise, and I can show you in the Capitol building, the noise may not necessarily be based on administrative inequalities. It will be on maybe somebody feel left out, somebody feel they're not playing the roles will play, and then so they made noise. But I'm not sure there will be any noise in the Capitol building going forward that will occasion regime change. Okay, so that noise, there's a noise there. So people
Okay.
Edward follow up. I beg you, Sabo. I'd like to do a follow up. Yeah, so Honorable Kuya, yes, my colleague family asked you about whatever is going on. Quite recently, your speaker Fonati Kofa, not Fonati Kofa, I beg you, Richard Nangwekun, I beg your pardon. Richard Nangwekun, as he speak, is embroiled in a social quagmire. I mean, the issue of morality, people have been raising a lot of issues about the Speaker of the House. Uh, I mean, moral issues. Quite recently, a lady claiming to be his wife, people said that was his sister, raised a lot of concern about the Speaker. Just a few days ago again, another lady said she was molested by the Speaker. And as far as the public concerned, these kind of allegations, bro, wild allegations being brought against the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the first branch of government. I mean, it's unrepresentative of that body. What are your own thoughts about all these unfolding developments surrounding the Speaker, the issue of integrity, the issue of morality?
So, the way politics is being practiced in other countries, Europe, Europe and regions and countries and here and there, it's not the same as in Liberia. In developed countries, someone will say, I feel the way I feel belittled. The way I feel unrepresentative. So I'll step aside. In this country, to remove a speaker, and you just watch it, the recent one, okay, you have to enjoy the support of the power that be. So yes, what we hear about it at times doesn't appear pleasant to us. But I don't think even if I went on criticizing, okay, I don't think it will change anything otherwise, except by own intuition. Okay. So yes, we hear them. Sometimes we joke about it. He gave a side of what is being said, how it happened, and we accept it. Because to move somebody that are numbers. And I'm not sure that leadership that I see there that is well situated, well established, well knowledgeable. They
Life.
Oh Lord, they refer to we as the newest. Newest on the block. They are being old people. And so I don't see anybody thinking that we are made noise. They will see that some days that one will make noise. Then they come to come on the order. But they say, yes, he's being accused of this. Okay. I don't know what a verifiable or allegation that will occasion any attempt to come to moving about it. I don't think there's anybody in the crowd that thinking about it at the moment.
Okay, so let's go to Moses Sandy to ask this question, our diaspora panelists. Moses?
Is he there? Moses is there. It seems that
Moses, can you unmute your system?
Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, Honorable. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Let me make this self-disclosure. You and I resided in the state of Delaware over 20 years ago. You remember, right? Honorable Kuya?
Yeah, I'm here.
You remember we resided in the state of Delaware over 20 years ago when you were in the States, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you. But look, let's get down to business here. I just want to piggyback on the two questions that came from Mr. Edwin Famule and then Mr. David Tagwe. Globally, former President Salif is known for championing the cause of females in Liberia. a very powerful voice for women. And she went to the Capitol today. She was in the midst of a speaker who has the public record of preying on women, a predator. And Mr. Sally sat over there, she said nothing. She showered praises on this man. Were you not troubled by that? All about, let's hear from you.
Yeah, that way. So I'm saying.
No, it's Moses. It's
like
not
said,
it's your Delaware brother, Moses.
Said, yeah, no, Moses. Yeah, no. So I don't know whether you think that Mercedes was afraid or she forgot to mention that. All she did mention is that then she was calling for women participation, increase women participation in the governance system of this country. So I'm sure if you are seen or view, what you refer to of the speaker's behavior or activities, she would have mentioned it. She didn't mention it. So maybe you are elevating it. I think because there has been no established proof as to all of the allegations are being levied against him. So that's why she didn't mention it. So I'm not talking about that. I think you're on the right territory.
Okay, Moses, your second question.
Yeah, on a personal note, I just want to piggyback with the Honorable, my own friend and brother. Honorable, you're on social media. You saw those videos. You saw the videos depicting your speaker in such a terrible way. Don't you see an action that has brought the image, the integrity of the House into public disrepute? Don't you see that?
And so,
and if you agree that you see that, what are you guys doing to salvage this situation?
So in physics, the formula for work is force and distance. All the panelists there myself, if we exerted, an effort on an object until that object moves, no work has been done. So I'm saying to say, yes, why you referring to being neighborhood, social and unbecoming behavior, as you may say, is not sufficient, okay, to warrant any action that will change, his position in the capital, or that he needs to do is that use his own ingenuity and say, you know what, this thing the people are saying, the public is saying, I must change. But they'll say, if I want to doing what you're doing or what is alleged that you did is not good, change it. Maybe we didn't do that. But removing or forcing to be removed, no. No, not in Liberia or not in Africa, probably.
Okay. Well, thank you, Representative. Kuya will be taking leave of you, I'm sure, in 10 minutes or so. But let's go around the table once again. And this one is about the University of Liberia. I understand that you are currently heading a committee that is looking into the UN Books Wahala. Martin Corey, the activists came against the lady who they're claiming that she's the Dukes of the University. But it does came up, one understand that the university program, the souvenir was the name of the lady claiming to be the Dukes was quashed. As a result, that this investigation is ongoing. And you are the chair. Do you care to tell us what have you found so so far? Does the university still have a books or not?
So something in law you call prejudice, discussing matter that is before the courts.
Subjudice.
So yes,
Yeah.
so yeah. And so yeah, what you heard is true. The committee, as a result of Martin Collins, and allegation of what that is, yes. So during the commencement convocation, there were no dues announced for a law school, because prior to that incident, they both met because the student complained to us that something went wrong. Okay, and so they both advised the administration to say what, the declaration of a dues for a law school until the matter is looked into. So 2 days ago, they both appointed me as chairperson of that investigation. We say doing the formality, we're doing the modality, and we have not started to look into it. So I can't speak further on that. Yes, the matter is ongoing. The board gave us 15 working days as of yesterday, okay, to have the matter, amicably, adjudicated. So we in our process. I can't say more. I know that we're going to it. We'll look at it critically, and then we'll come up with an acceptable, and ruling that will bring some credibility, to the integrity of the institution. So that's how we are.
So just before I can, go to my colleague Edwin, just give us an idea as to how the committee will proceed. You're going to invite people to invest, to hear from them, like the Martin Colley, like the lady who claimed to be the Dukes, the school administration. How are you going to do it?
And so we develop a framework, or things that we want to see. The committee will meet formally on Saturday to look at what we crafted and use as a working tool. I can assure you we'll leave no stone unturned. We will talk to every individual of interest. We will to the university administration and telling them things that I want to look at, individual that we'll be talking to, and soliciting their cooperation. So I can assure you at the end of the exercise, yes, something will be disclosed to the public.
Okay,
So just as a matter of disclosure, because I'm actually part of that class, and I serve as the graduating class vice president. So I don't want to speak on this issue because, like he rightly said, the school credibility has been brought to caution. But the program that was printed, the name of all of those who graduated with honor are within the program, of which I have a copy. And they were also awarded the different awards given to them from cum laude to magna cum laude. So that's where we are. Whatever the issues is, like I said, I was an authority of that class. So definitely I don't want to speak about it until they go through the.
So you be an investigator as well?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they want to call me. My doors are open. I would definitely.
Because apparently all of you people manufacture this grace and not David, you can ask a question.
Yeah, so I'm clear regarding the issue. We said about somebody say somebody was declared douche and that was nullified. And a committee that's been set up to investigate that matter. But after declaring her douche, was there any other person that was contesting that title or that honor that I was a douche? Why then did they give it to her? Is there somebody that contesting that?
So, as a ranking member of the board of trustees, as far as my knowledge is concerned, there was no one declared as douche.
Okay.
We did hear that a lady was supposedly being told as being a douche. Then then some of the students made a representation to the board that indeed this is not the actual facts. We got other facts, and because their time was short, so all we did was tell the administration, you don't announce douche for a law school. until the matter is investigated. Yeah, so we're communicated as a board officially by the contending party that the president that was supposedly because when they later declared so who to do, but then the president when they came and reaffirmed that. Okay, and we said no, we can't go that route until deeper deep into the matter. And that what brought about the constitution of this committee. So
Finally, maybe I'm asking a question out of ignorance. What brought you into the picture? Well, how did you? Okay, he's in the board.
Yeah, he's on
Yeah,
board.
so Moses
Okay.
can answer last
Okay,
question,
Moses-
so
Moses
the rep can respond. Let him go.
Yeah.
Moses.
Yeah. Honorable, this is what I would like to say. I'm not in academia, but as someone who graduated from the University of Liberia, someone with a graduate degree, I'm sure we all on this show here can agree that in the selection of a deuce, a valedictorian, or whatever, or people to be awarded, that decision is not based on students coming to say, I am the deuce. They look at your academic performance. Your academic records speak to that. So I am a little bit troubled that the law school identifies somebody as the deuce, and that statement was reaffirmed by the president of the University of Liberia. After that statement was reaffirmed, the board of trustees came up and said, hey, we have additional information on that basis. We want you to put a prohibition, put a pause on this. What is going on? Has this not drawn the integrity of the university into question? My university, where I graduated from, has this not created integrity problem for the University of Liberia? Honorable, speak to that, please.
You graduated with Larry?
I didn't graduate cum laude, but when I came to Tampa, I graduated 4 points.
Okay, so yeah, the rep respond to your question.
and so I too did graduate from the University of Liberia. I got 3 degrees from there. I got 2 masters with honor. I graduated with BSc in wood science, though I didn't graduate honor, but I came fairly good. And I've been at Kenya for over 40 years. My last job before I got elected, I said I did for the College of Agriculture, Forestry and Natural Resource Management at UMU. So I mean this, then I'm on a board. We don't want to jump to conclusion. We know that dating has a proclivity to make the university look naive, and this is our premier institution. That is why I can assure this public on the platform that will do all that is required to ensure that we deeper into the situation to come up with an acceptable, amicably acceptable, outcome. So no one will declare dues. They call the need. If you saw the Soviet program, July Law School, they just call names. They didn't even call their honors. Okay, they call it, and I'm not sure they call it in sequential order. I think they just call it random like that because they didn't want to be seen as somebody calling somebody a deuce. So that what happened.
Okay, so we'll be taking leave of you.
Quickly. So, Honorable, do you agree that the wrong has already been done, and there's nothing the university can do to undo this thing that has happened already?
No, I disagree.
You disagree? How do you disagree?
So let me say this much.
Are you saying that the president of the university did not exercise due diligence before speaking?
I can't speak to that, but I'm sure they both go without macro-managing the administration. But we are the one that got the administration in the day-to-day activities of the university to ensure that you have meeting on integrity. So if there's anything that has the clivity, to bring about confusion or bring about casting down cloud in the way, image, that's why we punctuated that piece of the process, and we are going to it. I'm sure when the facts come up, then anybody that have developed, some negative impression, then will have come to, to understand what has transpired.
Okay, Rab, before you go, let me go, deep a bit into your closet. You have this, reportedly, you have this, I'm not sure, I guess, but it's reported that you have this logging company. How do you, ensure that you don't, because having logging company, serving as representative for Sando County, tell us how are you managing with that? Because whether you were able to get the license or maybe you manipulated the process as representative and got your own license and running your own logging company. Just we want to understand something from you.
So, Sabo, I can tell you this much. Somebody that didn't support you during election hearing, when you become successful, you can even take your intention and make you sour. They work on the say criticize you. They will say complain. I mean that forestry is my area now, Sabo.
I know.
Okay, I work in FBA for 17 years. I'm the single librarian in this country that served as manager in FBA. All the divisions with the Center of Wildlife. I was in the United States when I got appointed as deputy for commercial forestry. That's how I came to the country. So I know forestry and I know governance.
So how did you obtain the lessons? You didn't manipulate the process?
No, I'm a classroom teacher now. So I'm setting the basis. Hey.
Okay.
Good. So I'm just telling you that I will do nothing that is ultra virus in that sector. I served as EPS executive director for years. So I know the law. It is not true. So you're telling me if Joseph Boga left and went to Morocco or went somewhere and brought in investor, does that mean you're a shareholder? By the forestry law, revised forestry law in 2022, I am an ex officio to the forestry community management board, ex officio non-voting member of that board. Okay, so this company, yes, the forestry playing the place. I managed to see the company on the internet after a kino labro and got pre-qualified by FDA by meeting all the criteria set forth. Qualified by FDA. Okay, so bring a company to go in your village. I told GVL in Sando in my village when I was EPS director. That EPS was GVL now is in my district. So I brought it kind of met all the conditions. They watch people are here. They let all the people talking this time. The FDA is here. FDA now is being micromanaged. Being managed by international bodies. They will get somebody a certificate to work. So the people have the conditions. I got no Friday. I got no.
So finally now, so it means that you are getting your share of the royalties.
Sobo.
Yes, sir.
I'm knowledgeable in the area. I know the laws. I know what I can do. What I can do. If anybody produce one single line, only word that is trying in my ownership, then you don't take me for serious. That's not true. I could not have done that. I'm too knowledgeable.
Okay, Rep. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We have other discussions as well coming up. We really want to say thank you, and we appreciate your time. With us tonight. It was very, very rewarding and informing as well. Thank you for taking time off a busy schedule.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for the invite. Thank you.
Okay, you're listening to the Nighttime Heat, Regional Prime FM 105.5, and of course, you can share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones can also follow. Let's try to play this video quickly. The cabinet, the president of the Republic of Liberia, today met his cabinet. I was watching it this morning as well. And the president was very, very strong in some of the things he said. Let's play the video and listen.
I don't know whether since are there any other cabinet ministers who have not been to cabinet meeting? Now, Tingba, have you been here or since you took over? Okay. Any other? Okay. The cabinet meeting, you have the agenda. Critical issues that we need to look at. And one of the reasons is that we've been coming to cabinet meeting, but sometimes the agenda is so long, we're not able to exhaust it, or maybe we don't get much out of it. So maybe doing the capsule like it is, we'll make a good try to see how much we can do. According to the agenda items, economic transformation, infrastructure and development, rule of law, governance, anti-corruption, environmental sustainability, and the human capital development. I think these are very key issues. In fact, key issues to governance. But let me start by thanking all of you. I think a lot of ministers have really gone overboard to do a lot of things. And when I say ministers, let me also add managing directors of public operations, some of whom have gone very much overboard to do a lot of good things. With all the criticisms, we know that a lot of good things are happening. People who want to notice good things are getting happy, and we want to show appreciation to all of you who are making this happen. As a matter of fact, I think that's one of my weaknesses, to notice the good in people. A few days ago, I had to write a letter to the goalkeeper of the
Arsenal football team. The hate team.
Arsenal goalkeeper. And the letter, I think, had been delivered to just show when somebody does good things. I mean, I've seen people writing goals, but it's an exception. Not just, even if I were to see it in another. And so it is always encouraging not just to criticize people, but to also recognize the good things that people do. So a lot of you have done good work. We here even at Public Works that have gone wide and doing a lot of things in communities. It is not necessarily so that for everything you do, we personally tell you to do it, but it's within the scope of your work to do the things that you're supposed to do. Of course, we take the blame, but so be it. We know that in the long run, people will begin to appreciate the good things that are happening. Nobody likes to see their houses demolished when they build them. But of course, when they had flood, the government is responsible. Everything bad, government is responsible. So we have to do certain things to help them for the future. I hope there was a way that we could make them know our real intent and how we become reasonable with them, but it's the best thing to do for the future of this country. So I want to thank all of you who have gone overboard in your ministries to take some very hard decisions to make things work. That's what we need to do. A lot of things have gone wrong for too long, and people begin to feel that that's the way it's supposed to be. Today's cabinet meeting is focusing on very key issues. But I'd like to start with not just welcoming you, but to express my appreciation for some of the decisions you're making, some of the things that are happening. gender, education, whether it be general services. I think people started appreciating the EJS building, because that building was there, was not painted. It doesn't show even worth to people who gave you something and they don't see you do something about it. But we must stay focused. That's the work we're supposed to do. And among all the criticism, I'm sure there are more people, especially people who are living overseas. They call, they commend for some of the things they are seeing happening. But of all the things that we do, job creation, the Liberians, of course, there are a lot of Liberians who don't, when they talk about bread and butter issues, some of them think that you're supposed to always carry them a bag of rice or something like that. But the bread and butter issues are even those issues, like the yellow machines that are here, that are going to help to open up the country, to create employment opportunities. Of course, we're talking about employment opportunities. People who thought that employment will
That's it.
said they don't want to work for anybody. So when you open up the country, you create opportunities in agriculture, unreachable areas that they can go there and do their farming, where they can control their own income means, and some of those people are very grateful. Like as always in Liberia, some places you hear 133 when it's 137, but this is likely to happen. But the mission. I've listened to a lot of songs, seen a lot of yellow. All of us are wearing yellow now, so we see that. That you are here, you know what is happening around the world, and that's why they always say, when you climb the palm tree, don't overstay. Some kind of bad breeze might meet you. Who expected what is happening now? So sometimes when we talk about what we're supposed to do at the right time, a lot of things are going to change with what is happening in the Middle East, and especially for countries like ours going to harm us. And this is why we should take control of things that we're supposed to do and do them timely. Sometimes we take too long to get things done. Of course, you get things done, so soon you will see fewer prices going up. We've been trying to negotiate already with people, suppliers, but for sure you can't keep that down. It's not you, it's out of your control. So some of the things that we could have done when fuel was cheap, we didn't do. We got to pay high for them now. But we should expect that. But then again, it's part of life and part of management that we expect that to happen. We should be planning to say, as it's going to happen, what are we going to do? And I'm happy that some people are already ahead. The Economic Committee met to examine the situation and to begin to think as to what are the measures to take. Of course, a few days ago we talked with some suppliers of products. We're going to have some shortages, maybe they will tell you whatever we have in stock for how. Some business people are already setting to take advantage of that. But we also are preparing to make sure that our people will bear the burden, but it will be in a way that it won't throw people out of business completely. Another thing we noticed is that the cabinet is a family, and quite often we have programs, and a lot of cabinet ministers are absent. Maybe they think that by discretion they want to come or they don't want to come, but we don't look at it that way. Unless where you don't have the chance to come, but cabinet programs are a must, because if you don't come, then who do we expect to come? For example, the other day we had intentionally had this program for the diplomats, the people that you work with, and we see the diplomat and the cabinet ministers. And we're a little bit disappointed that very few cabinet ministers turn up. We don't want to go into the habit of saying, if you don't come, this will happen. But definitely, we're going to be taking note. The performance record has still been taken. The director of cabinet tells me that a lot of people have been reluctant, but this is something we require people to do, because how do we keep track on what you do? We have to see your performance. We have to see that because months go, a year go by, we're in our third year by now, and a lot of things should be in place. And I hope the Director General is keeping record of that. And for those people who have not been responsive, now that it's quite understood what it's all about, we hope that we will gear up to do that. I've been a little bit thinking about with $8.4 billion on the AAID, how do we realize this 8.4 billion? This is a goal we have set for ourselves, and we all have to work in concert to be able to accomplish this. It is what we said, ID, and unless all of us can work towards it, we're not going to be able to achieve it. Job creation is very important, and you're thinking about investment. So go to your house, come to your office, come to this, yeah. You have to see them. You're not in a photo mood. They want for you to take photos. It's difficult to tell them when you can't. But as much as
Okay, so gentlemen, we can listen to the entire. I think many of us did follow the cabinet meeting today, and we listened to the president made some strong points. Talking about the issue of performance. He said the records have still been taken. Some cabinet ministers not attending major functions. But let's hear from you, Edwin. What's your takeaway?
Well, I think as I sat today and listened to the president, I think I saw, a statement, someone who understands the governance structure, someone who knows how to hold his people accountable for things that they're supposed to do. But there was something very important that I took from the president's cabinet meeting today, where again he has tasked his vice president to oversee some, I think, the Putu mining, stuff. And this is from the backdrop that the president served as vice president for 12 years, and he saw the way vice president had been kept in the back. And every time this president has the opportunity, he wants to bring his vice president along. He talks about the issue of job creation. He talks about the issue in the Middle East, and very interestingly, we just spoke about it from the opening. In fact, he even talks about the increase in fuel prices that are going to happen within the days to come. He talks about the issue of delay in doing some of these projects, and he's right, because once you move project timeline, it also affects the budget because prices are going to escalate. Now, if you're building 1 mile of road, maybe last year for $1 million, due to the increase down in what is happening in the Middle East, because even the asphalt come from petroleum product. So if you're paying $1 million now, you could be paying maybe $1.2 million or $1.4 million. So all of these things are being now put in place, and the president being a state person who focus on the function of governance will now have to start pushing his people very hard to make sure that they can work and deliver on time. He talked again about the AID, the ambitious $8 billion budget. He's still asking how are we going to reach at this, and it is good. And I think we've always said on this platform that the president needs to have a think tank. So you need to have people who understand all of these things and start crunching those numbers and see where can we push more. Like we keep saying here, the issue of our natural resources. This is the only thing now I think we have at our disposal to be able to raise money and develop our country.
Moses, you listen. I want to get your takeaway, but let me ask you on this one. You listened to the president when he spoke about the issue about the yellow machines, and he said people often talk about the bread and butter issue. And bread and butter, he said, it's not about going to get
rice.
dishing out bread to people or bags of rice to people. Like he said, the yellow machines, it's part of the bread and butter. Moses, let's hear from you.
I mean, first, let me say the president is a very good administrator. The way he presided at that cabinet meeting today, he really came across as a leader. He was at the same time putting people on the spot, at the same time helping them to understand, look, as a government, this is where we stand. And that's what leaders do. They know you're doing something bad, they let you know. They may not come to you directly, but they speak in a way that will make you to know that they are talking to you directly. So he demonstrated leadership. He said the issue of yellow machine is not limited to someone giving you, say, a plate of rice or bread with butter, as we would say. I think basically what the president is saying is that you create opportunities. That's what the bread and butter issue is about. Government creating the opportunities for people to thrive. The president demonstrated that. The situation at the Ministry of Transport. When you listen to the president, he said, "Look, when we take a collective action, and you sidestep that, you go at loggerhead with us. We come after you, it means that you are not with us. If you are in our meeting and we take a collective action and you have a problem, let us know." The president was directly speaking to the Minister of Transport at our cabinet meeting. He was telling him, look, what is happening at our ministry? You are at loggerhead with the government. The president, you heard him, he made reference to his Minister of Justice. He said the Justice Minister is here. He was telling the guy that we have agreed as a government, this is what we're going to do, and you got your people in the street. Again, let me applaud the president. He spoke as a leader. Look, honestly speaking, President Boga, is a mature leader. It's just that, some things that he need to tweak and people taking advantage of him because of age. But he's a good leader. You understand national leadership.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Dave. Dave, your take
Well,
away.
actually, I agree with Bob Mossad and Famula. President Boubacar has again demonstrated his experience, a long time experience in the public sector, in the governance process. But from what I heard from the president, uh, members of the cabinet, most especially those who've been delinquent in terms of attending the cabinet meetings, or who choose to go sometimes and don't go.
Are we offline? Mr. Tagbert? Mr. Famula, are you there? Are you guys there?
Okay, welcome back to the nighttime heat. We had to go off due to power outage, but we are back on. And Dave, welcome back, and
Yeah.
Edwin.
Well, yeah, good to be back.
Hoping that our colleague Moses can come back on as well. Okay, now you were in speech.
Yes, I was in speech before. Then I'd like to repeat that. Look, the president has again demonstrated that He's an experienced politician and leader. From how he handled the the cabinet meeting today, reminding members of the cabinet of their responsibilities. He also underlined the word delays or procrastination of certain things he's supposed to do, but the delays. He noticed a lot of delay in some of the areas. And regarding the yellow machine issue, Sabot and Edwin, it is highly incomprehensible that a lot of us Liberians haven't understood what they call bread and butter issue. People look at it from the bread and butter issue from a bird eye point of view. That the fact that jobs haven't been surplus yet and people still remain employed, even though roads are being built or rehabilitated and constructed for the movement, a smooth movement of goods and services, uh, to propel the agriculture sector as a result of the roads, connecting farms to market roads. And people haven't understood that, if you have good roads and people moving smoothly from one end to another, they're also a factor that positively contributes to the issue of bread and butter. Like President said, the president doesn't have to go to one flusher and buy bread and put butter inside and start dividing it. The bread and butter issue we're talking about is establishing an environment, creating an environment that will, enable all of us as Liberians, to get opportunities, even create opportunity for ourselves, not necessarily the government giving us jobs, but when the roles are pliable and people bringing their stuff from the market and from the farm to market without any hindrances, it addresses the bread and butter issues. You brought yellow machines. People say, oh, yeah, I even heard one lawmaker saying that, the yellow machines people will eat. Can you imagine that? And I think a former lawmaker saying that yellow machine people eat. So maybe the lawmaker himself hasn't understood when they talk about addressing bread and butter issues of a nation. These are factors: road connectivity, electrification, farm to market roads, agriculture. All these things are all things that contribute to the bread and butter issue. But again, I come back to the members of the cabinet, the president's cabinet. Some of them have to be very mindful. From what you notice, when the president started talking, he was inquisitive about those who've been attending or those who have not been attending. And those are records those are major observation he's been having. And sometimes those kind of observations, if a president makes such observation, that means that there's a possibility of heads rolling in the near future of those who've been delinquent in terms of their presence or their absence at those cabinet meetings.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I can say this today. China is one of the most powerful country in the world because China can feed herself and feed the rest of the world.
One of the.
That's what I say.
Oh,
One of
okay,
the,
okay.
but in fact, you can even say today, there's nowhere in the world where you go, you will not find a Chinese product. It's all because the country has been able to, expand through agriculture. China is producing food. China has almost 1.something billion people that can feed themselves.
Yeah.
So the very first thing that you want to do to gain independence is to be able to feed yourself.
Self-reliant.
So when you hear President Bouakai saying agriculture, and roads, that is the first place of independence. Now, it was estimated that we're spending around $200 to $300 million on just importing rice into this country. So if you have now if you reach to a point where you're cutting that amount into half, you are now reserving almost $100 million of foreign currency into other investment initiative in your country. So I think the real bread and butter issue is how do we invest in the agri sector? So the 300 plus agricultural equipment that the government is going to bring, adding to whatever we have with these yellow machines, if we can put the proper mechanisms in place to be able to actually manage these things, I can say this about in the next 5 or 6 years, Liberia and Liberians will be far better because we have a very small population, 5 million people. You know, that's in fact the smallest state in Nigeria, Akwa Ibom, you know, is more than the entire population of Liberia. And we have vast uninhabitable land, green forests. As we sitting there, we went off because we have heavy downpour of rain. We've blessed with nature. So we can harvest. If we say we're just going to agriculture alone, this country can become a developed and a sustainable country. Everything can grow here. You can even dig the quota right now and start planting cassava. In the next 6 months, it will grow. You go to other countries that are desert land. They are not blessed with the kind of condition that God has given us. In fact, let even put the natural resource issue aside, the gold, the diamond, but just agriculture alone. Yeah. This country can generate $1 billion every year. I'll tell you one thing. Last year, do you know how much Nigeria generated from cassava? $600 million. The Chinese are buying cassava to take it from Nigeria into China, making flowers, making starch. And cassava grow very well here. Even behind your house now, you dig behind your house and plant cassava there. After 6 or 7 months, it grows very well. So I think this is the right way to go, and government need to pursue it very highly.
You're listening to the Nighttime Heat. Gentlemen, I know we have limited time, but if you listen to the president today, he was very emphatic about the Ministry of Commerce. In fact, at one point in time, he said, we don't want chicken feet here ourselves. We can produce chicken feet ourselves. And he was very emphatic. I think he said it on 2 or 3 occasions. He said, the Ministry of Commerce has a lot to do. The Ministry of Commerce has a lot. He said it 3 times. And as he was being emphatic on the Ministry of Commerce, you saw the cameramen trying to focus on the minister.
But that was a professional thing.
Now, gentlemen, when the president speaks about the Ministry of Commerce having a lot to do, does it relate, or is it about the process of basic commodity? Because the Commerce Ministry also should be able to ensure that we have affordable prices and not outdated goods on the market. But from time immemorial, the Commerce Ministry, I don't know, is it because maybe the inspectorate division is not that strong or it's not that effective, but we always see importers dumping outdated and not fit goods on our market. The president said the Commerce Ministry has a lot to do. Now, Moses, let me begin with you. Do you think the president was speaking in the direction that the Ministry of Commerce needs to be more effective than what it is now?
Is Moses
are you on?
Yeah, he's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, let's be human here, right? You're in a gathering, and your boss is presiding. And I know, Mr. Famula, you agree. And your boss said, look, your department, that department is very critical for the sustainability of this organization. The department has to step up to the place. Your boss is indirectly telling you that you are underperforming.
You're not performing, yeah, of course. You have to step up.
And the Minister of Commerce now, she really need to get her ass together, because that old man is getting to the point of dismissing her. I mean, that's why you were telling her indirectly. The Ministry of Commerce. The Ministry of Commerce. The Ministry of Commerce. And the guys, what? Focus the camera on her. Her job is on the land. Goods and services, very critical for the economy of the country. And the president is saying that he has not saying that. So every sector of the government, everyone that need to begin to put their house in order. Because maybe they think that President Baka is not looking, but today cabinet meeting, I was very impressed. I'm being honest with you. He put a lot of people on the spotlight. So maybe they've been having the kind of discussion before, but not in the public glare. But what we saw today, that man knows what he's doing, my brother.
Now, Dave, okay. Now, Dave, let me come to you. When the president said, "We don't need chicken feet here. We can produce our own chicken feet," and being emphatic about the role of the Ministry of Commerce, what alarm? What does it mean for the Ministry of Commerce?
The first thing for the president to particularize the commerce minister, and I agree with Moses and Edwin that she is likely on her way out of there. But in time immemorial, Sabo, you mentioned that briefly. In time immemorial, ministers of commerce that we have had over the years have not been very impressive in terms of performance, most especially the regulatory arm of the Ministry of, I don't know, you call it inspectorate, right? The inspectorate
The inspectorate division.
The inspectorate division of the Ministry of Commerce hasn't been doing well, and this is not unique to the particular commerce minister. Most of the commerce ministers, they've poorly performed in that particular area, creating the avenue for importers to bring in, expired goods, contaminated sometimes, and the commerce ministry, it doesn't take notice of these things, except you buy something and you realize that it expired, you blow that alarm, it's dealt with. Even sometimes some of the inspectors go there, they are silenced. The business people silence them instead of making sure that they are reprimanded and even fined as a result of sneaking into the country. And the inspection exercise should start from the post of entry. And I don't know whether we have the commerce inspectors at the post of entry, and whether we have the sophistication to determine the contaminated goods or the expired goods. I don't know whether we have the sophistication. The commerce ministry has the sophistication to determine that the container contains contaminated chicken parts or this thing or that thing. I don't know whether we have that sophistication, but the commerce ministry has been dismally performing over the years, and it needs to. And the current minister, what, Melanie Weeks, or how do you call her? What's her name again?
Dagosa?
Dagosa. No, that Weeks woman was
that job we are coming minister, you want to bring back?
We are coming minister. I beg your pardon. Dagosa needs to wake up from slumber.
Yeah.
Because for you to say among your peers and the president to particularize you, that should send a signal that I'm underperforming and I need to, wake up from a slumber.
Now, Edwin, let me, before coming to you, we had an experience with the Minister of Commerce. The same minister. There was an issue, and we contacted the communication guy who was there, I think, Jacob Parley.
Yeah, Jacob Parley, yeah. Former president
in fact, it seems that Jacob doesn't have, a very strong access to the minister. So he managed to go through the office chief of staff. Initially, she consented. We printed flyer. In the damn minute, she turned us down. Some of the failure of the ministers can come as a result of their refusal
To interact with the
to
public,
interact with the public.
public and the media. Yeah.
Because whenever you have the opportunity, you get to know whether you are performing
Oh, you're not
or you're not performing. But with the president, I mean, I just thought to insert this there. With the president being emphatic about the minister, because he said the Minister of Commerce has a lot, we have a lot to do. The Minister of Commerce has a lot to do. And he said it right. He said, we don't need chicken feed. We can produce our own chicken feed here. Let's hear it.
You know, one thing people many times underestimate President Boakai for is that they don't know that he takes detail and take notes of everything.
You know, a quiet demeanor.
Of course. And people who know him, when he's sitting even by himself in his living room, he listening to the radio, he has a pen in his hand, he has a black book, he writing everything there. So he listen out there to the people, they complain and stuff. Now, that particular issue that he was talking about, we don't need chicken feed, we don't need this. Apparently, he has heard from somewhere, some people complaining about expired product on the market and so. So he's now saying to his commerce minister, look, in the ancient time, why can't we start doing our own portrait thing here rather than bringing food from Brazil or from other places? The length of time it take overseas, some of them get expired. And most of the thing, when the things come here, all the guys do, because that expiring date is just a stem. So they change the cartoon and put it into a new one and just put a stem on it and put it back on the market.
Yeah, this is why I'm talking about the sophistication of the commerce.
So he's now saying to them, look, if we don't control these things, we're going to have an unhealthy population very soon, where people start getting sick from eating these contaminated food and so forth. So, Madam Commerce Minister, the ball is in your court. There's a lot happening out there that you need to work on. Even the issue of eggs. You know, at one point in time, we were importing a lot of eggs. So I think they even came to a conclusion to say, look, we have a lot of local poultry here. Let's see how we can speed up and make sure that eggs that are produced in Liberia are sold only on the Liberia market. And that's how you take charge of it. But like you guys said, the Ministry of Commerce has a lot to play. That is the face. In fact, I can say that's the number one face of the government, because prices of goods and services affects everybody in the country. Whether you poor, you rich, prices of goods and services will affect you. So if the Ministry of Commerce is not doing her best, it's not at her best, it affects the rating of the government. So therefore, I think the president was right to say, Madam Minister, you have to step up, because there are a lot coming out there that you are not in control of what you're doing. And once you see your boss start to single you out, you will know that there's some trouble in the corner. It means that if you are taking 2 steps before, you need to double it to either 4 steps. Because in no time, that same maker can say, but we came to cabinet meeting, I warned you, I brought you out. There was a reason why I singled you out. And from the time we single you out based on your performance, we don't see any changes. So therefore, you have to give somebody else a chance to go there and see what they can do.
Okay, so gentlemen, let me announce the numbers, at least so that we can take a few calls before we go. 0776 540 987 is an alternative line. You can call 0776 540 987, or better still, you can still call 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793, or 0886 050507. Again, 0886 050507. We spoke on ours. It's your turn. We've been talking about a couple of issues. The president today held his cabinet meeting. He spoke with the cabinet ministers, and a couple of things the president said we've been analyzing them here. The president also today issued executive order to extend the mandate of the Asset Recovery Task Force team. Besides, the government also has made an upward adjustment in the price of fuel, and also been talking about President Salih's address at the House of Representatives. We held an interview with Representative Romeo Quia. Those are the issues we're talking about tonight. Which of them had caught your attention? Which of them you want to talk about? 0776 540 987. Again, 0776 540 987. Or better still, 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793 or 0886 050507. I hope you are not sleeping on us because of the small rain. Please.
So, yes,
Yes, Moses,
So-
quickly.
yeah, quickly, man. Just give me 30 seconds. Let me speak to something that's really impacting the lives of government foreign service employees, especially those in the diaspora. These
Mhm.
people are struggling. They are underpaid. The salaries don't come on time. Someone would be, say, a deputy ambassador. You go to a function, the person looks like someone who is living in a shelter. They don't even have bicycles. I mean, this is so terrible. Look, Soba, do not allow anyone to tell you say that the government appoint you abroad to serve at any of these embassies. The guys are underpaid, their incomes are low, these people struggle. I hope government can step up to the place. I see some of my colleagues, I empathize with them. So this is the appeal that I want to make to the government. They got to correct this thing here. If you don't do this, you make your foreign service staff vulnerable. They become easily manipulated by criminals. Thank you.
And they are not allowed to work while serving at the embassies.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They are not allowed to work.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? So, for example, let's say you got someone working DC. The cost of housing in DC,
Yeah.
the person may be renting an apartment that costs over $2,000, and you pay the person maybe $3,000 or $4,000. How you expect the person to live?
Yeah. And then the money doesn't even go on time. The rents
No,
are
it
not
doesn't.
on time.
But man, Edwin, you know everything. You know how the thing roll here.
But I have a family that is in foreign service. In fact, my cousin is in Egypt as the ambassador. I have another families in Kuwait. So we actually follow these. We actually follow these.
I hope
these
you're not
things,
risking our jobs.
No. What we're saying
They're giving
is
them welfare.
it's not unique to just one country. It cuts across the entire diplomatic setting. And like he rightly said, these are people that we need to treat with some level of respect, pay them well because they represent our country outside of our borders. So I think we know the foreign minister has been doing greatly well trying to build the relationship, but I think at a point in time, she needs to now sit and start looking at the welfare of these foreign service employees outside of Liberia. Because like I said, once you hold a diplomatic passport, you cannot work in any country. You have certain immunity, but you cannot work. You cannot get a job. So you depend wholly and solely on your salary coming from Liberia to be able to actually manage your welfare. In fact, it has even reached to some point in time where they even ask some of the people out of some of the properties because they're not paying the rent.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask.
And it's an age-old thing.
He has claimed the attention of the Ministry of
It's
Foreign
an
Affairs.
age-old thing. This is not just now. It goes way
Yeah,
back.
it's an age-old problem, yeah, perennial problem.
Look,
You're
I went to the
absolutely
Liberian
right.
embassy. I went to the Liberian embassy in DC. I felt very bad. The place is so unkept. The grass everywhere. In fact, I was there for one July 26 party, and I asked myself, "Is this the Liberian embassy?" And somebody said yes. I said no, but this thing doesn't even fit to be somebody's backyard or house. I'm telling you.
Okay, then what happened? What hasn't the rescue mission rescued those foreign service people? Because it came to rescue the people.
That's what we're saying.
Why hasn't it rescued the foreign service?
What we're going to do,
That's what we're saying.
gentlemen,
We need to have,
we're about to leave. So what we'll do, we'll try by all means to establish contact with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah.
If we can have the deputy minister or the minister proper for the minister, she's always away, so we can have the deputy minister Abraham Yen or whoever, and we can speak with them on the issue affecting our foreign service personnel. Dave, your final comment, so we can go.
Well, my final comment is that President Walker deserves a second term. Nothing. He has to some extent exhibited.
On what grounds are you saying that, Dave?
He has to some extent exhibited good leadership. Yeah, proving, in fact, he has proven his critics wrong. That, because of his age, he would have done later. But in less than 3 years, you look at the level of development, very impressive, Sabo. I'm not saying that the president
is it a breaking of the yellow machines?
No, Sabo. I think I'm mature enough to know what I want to say, and not someone feeding me with.
No, I mean, you said a lot about achieved. I say, is it part of the machine, the yellow machines coming?
It's another factor.
Okay.
It's another factor, but to some extent, you listen to Romeo Quia from Sino County. First, you are telling people that I'm coming on my way to Sino, but I don't know when I will reach. But he tells you, if you travel from Sino or Monrovia to Sino, you can testify that by 2 o'clock I'll be in Sino in Greenville.
Okay, thank you very much.
Those are some of the things.
Let's hear from you, Moses. Your man started by saying of President Boakai deserves second term. Moses, do you agree with?
Wait, what was it? No, let me say,
yeah, but Moses come over with practical comment.
I want to plead a favor on that tonight. I think it was indeed a great show. It was indeed a great show, and thanks to every one of you guys. The commitment, the dedication, the sacrifices that go into this. Taking time of your family, business schedule, other engagement that you can, occupy yourself with to earn money. To do that, it means a lot. So I just want to say thanks to you, Edwin, Mr. Tagbe, Sobo, yourself, our crew, and the people who are continuously following us. I just want to say we appreciate all of you. Continue to follow us, and we'll be here for you all the time. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, I will start from where David begins. I think my only disappointment is that Liberia did not elect President Boakai 6 years ago. And I think when he had the energy, he had the strength to be able to push this country to the level that we've seen now. Sometimes I sit back and say, what if this man had been the president from 2017, where this country would have been? Look, we can say all we want to say, but with the level of achievement that this government has done over the past 3 years, I work in the energy sector, and I can say this, the representative said it. As we speak, there's a hydro being built in Sino. As we speak, there's a solar farm being built in Sino to electrify Sino County. I went to the Southeast in 2022, and that was one of my worst experience as a young person, going through that road to Nimba all the way to the Southeast. When we got to Maryland, in fact, I decided that I was not going to come back with the same road, so we had to go through Ivory Coast. At a point in time, they have already started to insult us and say, look at these people. You passing through our country to go back to your country. Why don't you use the same road you came? In fact, they even wanted to send us back at one point in time. We had to be begging. But today, we can drive from here to Maryland. Today, we can drive from here to Sino. Today, we can drive from here to Grand Crew. I think it is an achievement that we need to all praise and say thank you. And we hope that God gave the old man the strength to go for another 6 years.
We'll talk about the political climate ahead of 2029. Who's fit, who's not fit, all the political alignment and realignment. We'll talk about that, gentlemen. So don't rush and jump the gun about Omega in 2029. Until then, Sabo George, have a pleasant time.